Hi, welcome to another episode of MYD Global. I'm your host, Leanne Hackman-Carty. In today's episode, I'm speaking with Lynn McGuinness, who's a social media expert and marketing guru. I've been working with Lynn on helping promote my book, Master Your Disaster, but I wanted to talk to her today about what she's seeing small businesses during the time of COVID. What are some things that are working for them, some advice for them, some free tools and resources that they could use right now for their marketing efforts. So stay tuned. Hi, Lynn. How are you doing today?
Hi, Leanne. I am well. How are you? It's good to see you.
You too. So, today, before we get started, maybe just tell the viewers a little bit about your background.
Okay, thanks. I'm Lynn McGuinness. I am a 30-year veteran of small business marketing and owner of Lynn McGee. I've worked in many industries, including ad agencies, healthcare, construction, manufacturing, IT, STEM, and most recently in publishing. I actually narrowed the focus of my business in publishing a few years ago because I believe that most authors don't have what they need out there in terms of marketing support. But the foundation for every small business marketing plan is the same, regardless of the industry. And I look at this as an author being a small business. So the difference is in the audience that they're trying to reach and the message that they're sharing.
So what are some of the things as far as the foundation? What do you think that small businesses should have in place and many don't?
I think that it's much more simple than I think that sometimes people realize, especially if you've been in business a while and digital marketing is new. The foundation for every small business marketing plan is very simple: an email address, a Google My Business listing, the appropriate social media channels, not every social media channel, a website. That's it. These tools provide centralized communication with customers and potential customers in the best of circumstances. But today, during a global pandemic, something we've never seen before, maintaining consistent communication has never been more important.
And so what are you seeing out there that if you're looking at various businesses that are marketing right now, trying to be seen because a lot of them, their storefronts, they can't be open. So what are some examples of some good marketing you're seeing for businesses in this COVID time?
So recently, something that was brought to my attention was there was obviously salons and dog groomers, they've been shut down. And I saw in Facebook a groomer who I wasn't even aware of was sharing about how they were open. They were able to be open. The state announced that they could open with limitations. And they were actually sharing in a Facebook group, not even someone that I followed. And they were doing everything right. They were sharing what was going to happen. They have limited hours. They have limited number of people that they need to have in their stores, limited number of pets. They shared how they would keep everybody safe. They talked about keeping safe distance, and they talked about wearing masks. Everything they needed to do, and they were reaching out to their customers and beyond using social media. So what I realized as I was seeing this was that I hadn't heard from my dog groomer. My dog groomer has been around for a long time, very successful business. And I've talked to her about this. She has maintained her business exclusively by word of mouth marketing, which is great. She's a great dog groomer. She does very well. She's very successful. She has no digital footprint, none whatsoever. So what does that mean? That's no email address, no Google My Business profile. So when you go to Google her, you can't find her. No social media channel, no website, she has nothing. You literally have to drive by or know somebody who knows her to get a phone number. So now, no one was prepared for the shutdown. No one. This was unprecedented for so many businesses. And we know with preparedness, that these plans are so necessary, but so many small businesses, this is something that has reached a level that no one could have anticipated. So these small businesses that weren't prepared for a shutdown may not be prepared to open, and simply in terms of communicating with their clients. So the business that has a presence will be able to reach out via social media, maybe by email. Maybe they're using a CRM and they're doing some email marketing. The business that doesn't have these things in place won't be able to do that. They won't have the means to reach their clients. And what's going to happen is they're going to have to wait for their clients to call. And they're going to have to explain repeatedly the processes. Now, I know my dog groomer will be back. I know she'll be okay, but this is concerning. But the thing is that there are things that they can do right now to fix this.
Yeah. And so if people don't, a small business doesn't have this foundation in place, what are the kinds of things they could do immediately or for very little money in the near future?
Most of the things they can do are free. And that's what's really great for small business. So if you don't have these tools established, the best thing to do is to begin with a free email from Google. You can simply be your business name at gmail.com, really easy. And with that, you get a limited number of Google Suite products, the G Suite products. And with that, then as soon as you have an email address, you can set up the appropriate social media channels. I always think it's a great idea for any business, any small business, to use Facebook, because today we use Facebook like we used to use the Yellow Pages, the phone book, where people will look for a business. They check to make sure a business is legitimate, they're still in business, to see what their offerings are, and maybe even to see pricing, because Facebook gives us that ability to provide all of that information. If possible, they can set up a website. There are lots of great options out there. If they have a little bit more money, for $5 or $6 a month, I think, you can get a custom email address. And that's another option where you get also, you get the full G Suite products if you went the Google route, or the free Microsoft products. And that's at the very least. If you're in a creative business, let's say a hair salon, a dog groomer, construction, landscaping, Facebook and Instagram are great because it gives you the ability to show off your work. And they work hand in hand because Facebook owns Instagram. So what's great about that is that you can actually set up your Instagram account to connect to your Facebook page. And for those small businesses, let's say a landscaper, they're out there, they're allowed to work right now during the quarantine, and they can let their customers know that they're out there working, taking pictures, showing them what they're doing, sharing them to Instagram. And it's a simple click. It's a check of a box to connect your Instagram page to your Facebook page, and one click shares it to both platforms. Yeah, it's really easy, and those tools are free.
That's great. I think there are, these little things that you can do if you can't get out there and physically have a space open or talk to your customers. At least you can talk to them digitally. Before we wrap up, Lynn, is there anything else you can think of that you wanted to mention that perhaps I didn't ask about?
Well, I wanted just explain a little bit about what you can do, because it's really likely that you do have a presence if you're watching here, which is great. I've seen some people who are kind of waiting out this crisis and not communicating, and I think that's a mistake. I think that a hard sell, I think the messaging can be uncomfortable, and I agree that we should be really careful about our messaging. I know that there's a standard, there's this 80-20 rule that most social media marketers go by, where it's usually 80% of posts that they share will be encouraging, edifying, uplifting, funny, things like that, and 20% are selling. I think we need to be really careful about that message right now. I think we need to kind of read the room, and really, it's okay. For instance, I have a friend who has a salon, and so we've been sharing funny memes about hair, and begging people not to use box dye, and just sharing. And what's happened is we've gained these great conversations, and we're talking and letting people know we're still here, we're coming back. It's a great way too to communicate with employees. You're safe. We're coming back. We're going to be back. We're here. I think that people should remember to continue to be real. Never before has our personal lives and our professional lives overlapped the way it has right now on social media. You see people being vulnerable, sharing stories, funny stories about homeschooling right now, because that's not easy. And especially you're seeing people with little ones in elementary school and, middle school. It's hard. Sharing funny things that are happening during Zoom calls, waiting for the dog to bark, the doorbell to ring, and all the funny things that happen. Those are good to share, and it shows everyone we're human. And the thing is that right now we're in a period of time we have never been before. This is completely uncharted territory for all of us. This is unprecedented. And I think it's really important that because this is one thing that has really bonded us in all of humanity, I think that we need to remember that, and that our messaging can reflect that. It's okay. So I think that one thing we should consider is, how will your business be remembered through this?
Yeah, because people will remember when if you were there, or if you're just trying to take my money, or what it was. So
right, exactly.
So I know you've provided some links that I'll put in the description below, and so people can find out more information. But Lynn, thank you. I know that businesses right now, they're looking for anything they can to maintain their operations and make sure that they're here tomorrow. So thank you very much for your advice, and take care.
Thank you. Thanks, Leanne. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.